So one final thing that we can do here is also maybe just add a little bit more randomness to the size of the lines that we copy to points. So inside this p-scale, I will now create an AA flow noise, which I will fit, and I will promote frequency, offset, maybe not offset, just amplitude and roughness, and also flow. And for the fit, I want source min and source max, and I will just multiply this inside this multiplier over here before we export to the p-scale. And let's preview the copy to points. Okay, so this noise is working. Let's now edit some of the settings here. So let's drop down the minimum value for the source min and maybe the maximum value. So we sort of normalize this noise value to be from 0 to 1. Okay, and now we can play with the frequency and maybe the roughness and also amplitude, and just find some settings that work good for you. And also we have the flow as well, so we can very easily create a little bit of an animation if I just set this value to be $t, so map it to our time. Okay, and let's go to our volume rasterize. So a lot of the brightness will be controlled through the material itself, so we don't have to worry too much about the look now, but maybe I can tell that the overall p-scale should be a little bit larger. So let's also preview the pieces. And let's set down, after this volume rasterize, I will plug this into a null, which I will name to volumetric raise. Alright, and this is what we will use to render. And before that, let's use a volume visualization. Drop this here and let's hide other objects. Let's set the emission to be density and just increase the scale to maybe 10. And also I want the emission color field to be set to density. So now we can sort of mimic the color that we will set in the material when we get to the rendering section. And just for a visualization, to judge whether these should be bigger or smaller, we will use this volume visualization here for the viewport. And let's set this color maybe to something of a blue and introduce a little bit of white in this. Let's make another handle here and make this a little bit more of a saturated blue with less white. Alright. So this should be good as a basis. Let's go in our camera and show all objects. And probably we need these rays a little bit bigger, I think. So let's go to our p-scale and set the global multiplier maybe to 5. Alright, so I think this looks a little bit better. And maybe let's fade these out quicker so we can set the maximum value for the age maybe to 15. So let's preview a few frames. And I think maybe I want to delay this whole raise effect a few frames. So after all of our nodes, let's drop down a time shift. And let's maybe set the frame value to be negative, so -3 frames or maybe -2 frames. So just delay these 2 frames. And let's see. Okay, let's maybe go inside the camera and let's just create a flipbook. So I think this is looking good. We will be able to sort of fade these in towards the beginning of the explosion when we do our compositing, and we will further adjust this look when we get there. But this will be good as a base. Okay, so now we can cache these out as well. Let's grab one of these file caches and drop this here. Let's maybe see, let's turn off hide other objects. Okay, so we need to cache these maybe until frame 70, So set the range to 1 to 70, and this will be our volume raise, and we can save to disk. And from here, let's select all of these and press Shift O and grab one of these sticky notes, place this here, and this can be volume raise. Alright,